Hello, and we are back.
No offense, a couple people know me.
Malibu's Most Wanted.
With B-Red, they can't sing about Jesus. You got to sing about jails.
You got to sing about
Scream 1, 2, and 3.
That's insanity.
That's the Jamie Kennedy experiment. And
Talk about gangster rap. I can't wait for this clip to go. I've got two. Makes me think that Target is low-key Satan's temple.
Oh, for sure.
We went really deep in the furniture store. Now here's...
Hello, and we are back, everybody, with one of my old friends. You guys might recognize him from Scream 1, 2, and 3, Malibu's Most Wanted, the Jamie Kennedy experiment, Enemy of the State, a bunch more, maybe in a stand-up comedy show, the one, the only, Jamie Kennedy.
Oh, thank you. Let's talk about this drive, guys.
What? It was a beautiful drive down through the canyon in Laguna.
It was like
It is beautiful.
Hour and a half.
But the toll road,
That's
I
how
don't
long
even
it
know.
takes to get from Santa Monica to Hollywood.
it's true.
Ish. I know what you're saying.
On a
But you
bad-
get here,
It's true.
and then something happens, and you go through those mountains, and that's a whole other world because it takes forever.
It's like
And it just dropped
Narnia,
10
though.
It is Narnia.
It's Narnia.
It is
here.
Narnia.
It is.
It just dropped 10 degrees.
I know. Well, it is supposed to get cold and
But
rainy
at least
this
you
weekend.
go places in that time, though. Like, Ryan Seacrest won't even go more than 2.5 miles in LA. Like, he says he won't leave.
Why did you bring that up?
Oh, I'm sorry. Forgive
Do you
me.
like Ryan
What?
Seacrest?
I'm sorry. I apologize.
No, it's just wild.
He talks about it all the time.
Oh, he what?
Talks about it all the time. How?
Did he talk to you?
Yes, I believe.
He
Do you
hid
know-
he hid in my bathroom once.
Yes, because I was driving here and thinking one of the last times I saw that it was with Ryan Seacrest.
Oh, really?
And so I'm all into like things connecting.
Yeah,
And that's
probably.
wild that you brought him up because that was a
That's
memory.
right.
It was like
He was on crutches and he was hiding
something about your bathroom.
in the bathroom because I had Tara Connor. She was from Kentucky. She won Miss USA.
Yes.
And she was Miss USA at the time, and she had just done Ryan Seacrest on Kiss FM, and he liked her. But then she also had DJ AM liked her.
Yes.
Remember?
This was a lot.
Right? It was a lot happening.
And I'm like, wild that you just said that.
That is weird.
I haven't
then.
seen her in
Yeah.
I don't know how many years
And
has
that's
it
the
been?
last
It's been
time.
a long time. So that was the last time, right?
I don't know. It's been a minute, and then I haven't seen you, and then the next thing I know, you're a housewife,
I know.
and then
No.
you were
Just like I know.
You were a housewife, and then you're also
A housewife.
a housewife. So
Yeah.
you were a housewife of Orange County,
Yes.
and then you've got like two beautiful
Married with
sons,
kids.
and you
Yes.
have a beautiful husband or a beautiful ex-husband,
A beautiful ex-husband.
Okay,
But we're
and
really good friends.
and then you have a
Okay.
beautiful new husband,
boyfriend.
new boyfriend. Okay, and were you a housewife?
I've interviewed for it a few times and I always chicken out. I don't like drama and anxiety. It gives me anxiety.
Yeah, that's
I don't-
not the thing.
I don't like throwing drinks. I don't do well on television drunk. It's just not for me. Yeah.
Makes sense.
And people being mean. I have a
tough
sensitive
gig.
spirit. I don't want people talking bad about me and to me, and I don't enjoy that. It makes me kind of sick. And
What's your birth sign?
my Scorpio.
Sensitivo.
Yep.
I'm with you. I believe in this stuff.
It's
I'm a
both
Gemini.
it's a blessing and a curse.
Yes.
So, yeah.
Well, I mean, you're doing a pod, so maybe just mute that comment section. Although I can't see if anybody's going to say anything bad about you guys.
Well, Lindy actually comes. She speaks out about a lot of stuff. She
Oh.
Yeah. So I'm getting thicker skin by the day.
Yes.
Are we LMs? Like-mindeds?
Uh-huh.
That's what I call people.
Yeah.
I don't call them fans or whatever. I say like.
No, we're
Like-minded.
like-minded.
Yes.
Yeah, definitely.
How is the comedy crew? What's going on with comedy? I mean, you're going and still doing stand-up and everything, right?
All the time.
And so, how has the crowd changed?
We gotta
Because
come
I
see a
feel
show.
like I feel like it's like, yeah, we need to come to a show. But I feel like it's different now, right? Because everybody gets so offended. It's like scary, right?
We're just snowflakes.
Well, it's wild because it's like comedy is needed more than ever.
Right.
But it's pushed back against more than ever. So the people
Yeah.
that push back are super offended. And then the people that get so mad that they feel like their rights are being impeded upon go, no. So you have super loyalist, super angry. So you'll have walkouts. I did, whatever you believe, whatever you can believe is what you believe. But the TDS is real.
Right.
Because I did 3 shows in 3 weekends, and every time I do this joke about Biden, I don't even mention Trump. I had one lady walk out, it's on my Instagram, like having a hyperventilating attack.
Oh, no.
Another guy get crazy in the ice house, and another guy scream. 3 different shows. So it's people are beyond triggered.
Wow.
They're so triggered. They're so
Right.
emotional. They're living in their limbic brain, and they're this polarizing Trump Biden thing gets everyone so triggered, and it's just this red-blue paradigm that we've been living in. I'm so tired of it. And I used to be into politics. I'm done with it all. Once you kind of see behind it all,
But don't you think that when you're going to a comedy show, you
Right.
know that what are the biggest topics in the world that are going to get attacked in a comedy show?
It's so true. If you're going to a comedy
Presidents,
show, you
right?
can't-
Then that's not a new thing. That's
Right.
been going on for a long time,
Yes.
right?
You should expect
I mean,
that.
whatever's going
No.
on, right? It's like,
It's
okay,
true.
I'm going to go see a comedy show knowing that you guys are all, just pushing the limits every time, calling out people in the audience and whoever's in pop culture and whatever. I mean, don't go to a comedy show if you're triggered,
That is
right?
100%
But
true.
you're an adult. See, there's something that's going on. It's called a sense of humor. And you've always had a sense of humor.
Yes.
You know what I'm
You do.
saying?
Yeah.
And it's like what we've lost. There's a lot of people that don't. And, I don't know. I haven't seen you in a long time, and I don't really know anything about you. And you both could be Fox News anchors, and I'm not pro Fox News, and I'm not
Right.
pro CNN, but I have hung out with women like you, and you've more sense of humor with you than if I see someone that has a pink streak in that hair.
Yeah.
Once you see that, you gotta run.
You know.
You're in trouble.
Yeah.
You're gonna catch some kind of bullshit. So I'm not anything, but I've been pushed to people call me a conservative. I'm like, I'm not a conservative. I'm just common sense.
It's common sense.
Right.
So
Sure.
it's wild.
Well, you're coming out and saying a lot of stuff.
Like what?
All
Yeah.
kinds of stuff. You're talking about the satanic rituals,
Oh.
Hollywood,
Yeah, I heard you're talking about the Illuminati.
the
So
Illuminati,
Here's the
the
situation.
checkerboard.
Tell us, yeah.
Like, come on. Because
Okay.
Lindy goes out and she digs deep and
Oh, you are.
she tells on her stories.
Yeah.
She's always talking about what's going
I've
on.
studied the occult for about over 5 years now. I've been studying the occult.
What's
have-
your last name?
Kennedy.
Oh, that's right. Holy shit.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Wow, that's right. Okay, go
My
ahead.
brother from another mother.
Yes.
So, yeah. So I've been studying the occult for over 6 years, like 5-6 years, and I've been working in the fight against human trafficking for 10 years. And I see a lot of satanic ritual abuse, and I see the rituals and the symbolism, and I study all that. And I actually used to work in Hollywood also. I've actually worked at Barfly with Ryan Seacrest too. So, yeah.
So you really know Ryan.
Yeah, well, I don't know if you
7
remember
Shades
me.
of
This
Ryan.
is 20 years ago, but I used to do, I worked at Barfly when he opened that, and I would be the girl that go around with like the thing around her neck with the cigars and matches and
Cigar
Barfly.
lady, cigar girl.
When
Yeah.
were you doing that? Maybe I saw you there.
This is 20 years ago. So
Every time.
I remember
That's when I lived
Barfly.
there.
Did he own Barfly?
I didn't know
yeah,
he
he was
owned
one of the
Barfly.
first owners of it.
That was
Uh-huh.
on Sunset, right?
And then it wasn't for very long,
They
And
always
then-
had the Playboy Scouts.
Yeah,
at
and then he'd
Barfly.
always be like, "Come with me here," and we'd go over to a hotel after and hang out, and a few times, but we never he was a little short.
Shots fired.
I didn't. I don't mean it mean, but I
Shots
don't,
fired.
You know who I like? He was,
Short Kings.
and I worked for him, so I didn't want to mix. So I was
Biz and pledge.
I was trying to be professional, and for my modeling agency,
Right.
they would have fired me if I was, So,
Yes.
Yeah. So, but I did. I acted and modeled in Hollywood from the time I was 4 all the way up until in my 30s even, and so I saw a lot of that. A lot of things there. Like I was invited to parties, and I had photographers and producers. I saw things that made me really uncomfortable, and heard
Like?
things, pedophilia, and just like
You saw it?
no. I heard people talking about it and
Ooh.
parties with blood, where you have blood
When
stuff.
you were there, so I was so oblivious
I would
to
hear
everything. I was just, I didn't know
Yeah.
that stuff was going on
I'm-
until
I'm
the
with-
past like couple years.
I'm with you on that.
Yeah.
I would hear it and I would file it away and be a little uncomfortable. And then when I started studying all of this, I would piece it together. And I'm like, that's right. I remember this or something. That person saying that. Yeah.
First of all, I just want to let the viewers know that this podcast is in a furniture store. And I've got two beautiful women right here and a beautiful man over there. And we're going right into SRA. I mean, wow.
Yes.
I had and the drive is a fucking day. Okay? And I only did it for my love of you. And now I'm enjoying
We
you.
really appreciate
you
it.
love Lindy now too.
Yeah. Well, I love you too.
Well, let me comment on that.
Okay.
So it's crazy because I met her at an amazing party.
Yeah,
Shane
we
Black.
heard you chased after her in a scream mask.
you had
Oh, did I?
no, that you came out of that.
I had a scream. No, I had a weird mask. I don't think it was a scream
It was
mask.
scream
Oh, well, it
mask.
would
It was
have
a Hall-
scared. It would have
It was a
scared.
Halloween party.
It was Shane Black's Halloween party. He has the
Shane
best
Black's-
parties.
You had a scream
And
costume on.
I did.
You did.
I probably did because it was easy.
And you were trying to scare me. You were like,
You're like, I have a few of
Did I
those.
scare you?
I know, I thought you were funny. I didn't know who you
You-
were. I had no idea who you were.
Thank you.
And then, well, you had a mask on.
Do you know why? Because no one will ever bother you if you have the mask on. They go, "Oh, the fucking guy's being screamed."
Right.
And then
I
you
will
have.
mess
I
with
would
you.
sip through it.
Yeah.
But wait, you were dressed as. I'm going to tell you. You ready? You were dressed as. I want to say the Fifth Element. You were dressed as Mila from the Fifth Element. I'm pretty sure you were. You had a purple wig on or a blue wig on.
Oh, I was. I put an outfit together.
Yes.
But I'm glad that you said it was that because I don't really think I knew what was. It was just like random.
I don't even know what that
Yes.
is.
Well, there was a movie 25 years
But I
ago.
like
didn't
Mila
see it.
Kunis.
But we had the other one, Mila Jovovich. Jovovich.
Oh, I
yeah.
liked her. What
Okay,
happened to
that's
that girl?
exactly what I was dressed as.
Okay.
I think you were. Here's what I want to say is that the whole business is different.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? Like the fact that she lives here, which I understand the appeal of it. It's very
Right.
different than LA.
Especially
And-
families.
Yeah, you have a family and you
Right.
want to be, feel good. But you do. I walked out. I had to step over 2 human piles of feces today.
I mean, LA is
LA is insane
It's
right
just
now.
going-
not as
yeah.
bad as San Francisco.
No, but
But LA's.
it's wild.
Yeah.
But I'm in the mix. I have a lot going on, so it's there. But I understand having a beautiful safe haven, which this place is.
Right.
But yeah, I'm going in on stuff because I was never seen like that's why I was bringing that up because those are the type of parties we used to go to. Those parties were amazing, meaning Shane's party. Like, this was a guy that just has a great party, a mix of everybody. And it was fun. You can drink all night. I never even really saw any drugs. And you, like, hang out with a chick, and then you, like, bounce and scoop, and maybe, you know what I mean? You'd have...
What's scoop?
Scoop, like, yo, what's up? You
Scoop
scoop
her
her up. You scoop.
Oh,
Scoopy
I thought
scoop.
it was like something
And then
I
she's-
didn't know about that people do at parties.
Yeah, that's a
Oh.
scoopy scoop.
Okay.
And then your friend, and she might have a friend, and you scoopy scoop, and then it's all fun. You know,
Okay.
we go to Mel's on
We go to
Sunset,
Mel's,
Oh,
remember?
I like Mel's.
And
Yeah, I remember
Mel's?
that.
Mel's swingers, all of it. But
Yes.
I'm like Maxim parties, and it was all fun. You know what I mean? Like. It was never Playboy Mansion. Again, I've been there at least 10 times.
Yeah.
Never weird. Like,
really?
no, it was always 6 girls to 1 guy.
It was a great party for guys to go
Yeah,
to.
and
If you
3
could
old
get in,
men.
right?
There'd be 4 guys to 6 girls, but 3 of them would be over 85.
Yeah.
So, and I couldn't
great for
even
you.
go and bring a friend. So you'd see other actors that you knew, and that's how you became friends with them because you couldn't bring a dude.
Right.
But you could swim, amazing food. So again, I did this on my pod. I haven't put it out yet about how no one really fucked with me because I believe, and I'm going to sound a little corny, but I believe I have a lightness about me and I cannot be compromised morally. You know what I mean? Like my parents raised me right. And
so
it's like
cool.
I believe in hard work and I believe I don't know if it's real, meaning maybe I got really lucky because I in spite of this shit, but I just believe in hard work and if you're good, eventually breaks are going to happen and if you can maneuver the right way and the thing is it's weird is though I'm all of this, that's the darker stuff you're saying, which I had never heard
It's
of.
all coming out now.
Which I think, like, I know a lot of kid actors, and like you brought up my buddy Stu off camera, and he's been a kid actor since he was 6. And, you know, I'll start asking him questions and he starts smoking more. So, you know what I mean? Like, I don't know. I want to, like, really pick his brain, but he's definitely, he said, not for me to speak, but he just said the way that adults would, like, do little things, he said. I'm going to say it, but hopefully he doesn't get mad. But it's like he said, you know, if you're a kid and someone tickles you, you don't think it's weird. And then you're 40, you're like, what? Why is this adult tickling me? You know what I mean? So who the fuck knows what these people see? So I did a thing last night on Amanda Peterson. She's an amazing, beautiful. She was in Elizabeth Shue 2.0. She was the star of Can't Buy Me Love and other things.
Oh, I love
beautiful.
Can't Buy Me Love.
She
was
died
Cindy Mancini.
She died.
Yeah, Cindy Mancini.
2 years younger than me.
She passed away, right?
Drugs,
She
right?
died, but what were the drugs covering up?
Right.
She was raped at 15. And she was just ruined. Yeah. And she was a light.
She was beautiful.
Beautiful. A natural beauty,
had
a light.
Future
and so when I say is if people say, oh, this person's on drugs, I was at the Venetian the other day, and I remember I went to there's like a cheesecake factory, but it's not. I forget what it's called Lux Cafe. And I'm like, I have a memory of the last time I saw Amanda Bynes about 15 years ago was there because she did my show. And she was so sweet, so pretty, so wonderful. And I would love to catch up with her again because what she must have seen.
What that girl's going through is heartbreaking.
They destroyed her.
They destroyed her.
And we were out 20 years ago, 15 years ago, and it was all fun.
Yeah.
But who knows what these people were going through, which we didn't know about. So the darkest of the dark is insane.
Yeah.
I'm learning about it. The levels of that before. My big thing is I'm in right now is the symbolism. This Satan shit is real.
Yeah.
I'm not religious, but it's real. Like, it's pushing me to become a religion. It's real. Look at them all.
Yeah.
Look at Sam Smith. Look at Doja Cat. Look at Madonna.
Right.
Look at, I love Taylor Swift, but come on, she has a witch ritual and that, I mean, you tell me.
Jamie's hitting on all of them.
I know. Lindy is like.
So you're into this.
She's into.
Ooh, you're like a little angel. You look like this little sweet
know.
thing, and then you're like out there with her like pentagram fight. Like,
Yeah.
bleh.
She knows all the symbolisms, the hand gestures, the black eyes.
I just found it really intriguing, and
It's fascinating. Like, so do you know what the checkerboard is?
Yeah.
And why that is the way it is?
It's the darkness to light. They believe in they believe in controlling both the dark and the light. So they control
Yes.
every.
So Jay Dyer is amazing at this, and his wife Jamie.
Oh yeah.
And they educated me a lot.
Yeah.
So you see checkerboards everywhere, and unfortunately, it's in Vans. And I love Vans. It was my first commercial.
I know.
Maybe they're not part of it. I don't know. So it's really simple. If you start there, this is a baby red pill, and then you go. So think of the checkerboard as a system, a remote control to get. So if you're a person that what you are is, I don't know if you're a Satanist or you're a person that wants whatever they want, right? So how can I explain this without being babbling? We're at a point where there's no accountability, accept everything. And those keep pushing the boundaries till you'll accept things that you're like, what?
Yeah, just move the goalposts every day.
They keep moving the goalposts.
Yeah.
So the checkerboard is an example of that. It represents the yin and the yang, the black and the white, the up and the down, right? And there is no
duality.
Yes, it's a duality, but there's no right or wrong.
Right.
So whether you want to,
they believe you need evil with good.
yes. So the goal is what you want. So if you want $50 from me,
right?
Okay, and you have the belief, and you use this checkerboard belief because it's a symbol. So you either ask me for $50, which is not morally wrong, and it's just a matter of what you can convince me of, or you kill me to get $50. Okay, whether you do those things, those will be. Let's say one is light and one is dark.
Okay,
you have no belief or care whether you just want $50, and that is what that represents, meaning no moral compass. The goal is the goal.
You are a god is the.
Does that make sense? And
so is that satanic?
I could probably is, but it seems like
where
it's
do you-
multiple things.
But when you're going for fame and they're like, okay, I sold my soul, now they're like gonna do the Satan thing. Do they start on the checkerboard? Is it like we move the pawn forward one to the diagonal? Like
I don't know enough about it, but it seems like you've done a lot of research. But I will say this: I've never.
They ask you to wear a dress.
No, but I've played women, but it was my idea on my old show, The Prank Show. It's funny. No one ever made me.
That's
You
different. That's not a
But it's
humiliation.
funny, like Monty Python.
Yeah.
But there is that humiliation thing, which is 100% true. But I will, and it seems it's in the hood more.
Is true.
Right.
Because the hood is more gangster. So if you take a dude who's hard and then put a dress on him, it's an extra humiliation. You know what I'm saying? But so I've never seen all of that. All I want to say is that I have heard this, that people are saying that people come up to them. But again, I mean, maybe because I had a thing like no one ever did. But now I'm starting to hear people say it, but I'm checking to see who's real.
Yeah.
But they definitely, I would believe, in the music business.
So the music industry is even more so than all of Hollywood. It's definitely a CIA I believe. So the CIA literally runs the music industry.
1,000% I believe her. We went really deep in the furniture store. Now here's what I was saying. Because the way to hypnotize someone is through music. So in the late
frequencies, the words they play in your mind.
Late 40s, music, the megahertz changed.
Yes, you know about the megahertz
Of
and the
course.
440 and the yes, and Kanye talks about it too.
So that it changes so it can
It causes
hypnotize.
depression, anxiety. It hypnotizes. It rewires
what they
your
say.
And it's the
brain.
anatomy of a hit. Of why you can repeat something over and over again and how it becomes a hit in your brain, but what are the super messages? So I think everything is being operated with us subliminally.
And then it's attached to the jail system. Do you know about that?
Yes, I know about that. So how that just like, but
And there's
keep
billions of dollars in
How's
the
it connected
jail-
to the jail system?
So
Explain this.
they only allow a lot of artists, certain particular race artists, to sing about thug life, having different baby mamas, drugs, the streets, Gucci chains, and this and that, and shooting people and knives. And they tell them, like, you're not allowed to sing about Jesus. You're not allowed to sing about being a good husband. You're not allowed to sing about a good family life. They want to keep them in certain lifestyles, and they want them in the jail system. And it's this big,
This is so funny watching these lily white women talk about gangster rap. I can't wait for this clip to go with B-Red. They can't sing about Jesus. You got to sing about jails.
You gotta sing about
You got to sing about this.
You gotta sing about thug life.
I don't know if it's exactly handed down, but there's basically many rappers talk about this.
Yeah.
That say, well, the record labels and jails are owned by the same people.
Yeah.
So it's a way to influence to keep the jails filled, to keep the breakdown of
Money.
the family, all this shit.
And breaking down the family, the system. They want us all broken down and depressed, basically, and anxious. And
My big thing is, because we jump so deep, is the symbolisms. That's what I started noticing by people telling me stuff.
Say that,
And
are you talking about like the
hand
33? Are you
gestures
talking
or
about
the
the covering one
numbers or-
eye?
all of that,
All
but
of
the
it.
simple,
And the
yeah,
black
like you'll
eye.
never see a picture of me with a covered one eye.
Yeah.
You'll never.
Yeah.
So I don't know why everyone does that. It's weird, and I know why, but you'll never see that. The other thing
And
is
the bathtub.
the bathtub. You never
That
exactly. That's
ritual.
another thing. Totally. But Hollywood Boulevard, I don't live far from it. You know, like I love.
Do you still live in the same house?
I moved. I had a different house, and now I live in a condo. And then I'm gonna figure out. I'm gonna buy another house, but I'm
Down
probably
here in
gonna,
Laguna Beach?
Yeah. Yes.
well,
You're moving
I'm
to the
actually,
LC.
I'm loving it, but the taxes. But what I want to say is that there's Hollywood Boulevard.
Right.
If you drive down it now, the amount of symbols on buildings
Oh, really?
from the god of Horus, the
Yeah.
Egyptian theater,
Oh, the Babylon on the
all the Babylonian
Yeah.
stuff, to the Dolby Theater, where itself the renew they put in way the light is. You can look this stuff
did.
up, and it's
Wow.
You really
fascinating.
know all this, yeah.
Oh, I'm
the
learning it.
Pantages Theater and all that down there. They have
You
all the
surprised.
Babylonian. I am. This is like, yeah, this is the kind of stuff
I thought we were going to talk about sconces.
No.
Sconces. Yes, we're.
You're in the furniture store. Have you been to that? What's the dome in Vegas?
I haven't been, but I've gone by it a lot. The Spear.
Because I've heard that that it's doing subliminal messages too.
Really?
Yes.
I did not know that.
The fact that you guys are so deep in this is beautiful, because like I don't know you yet, but I know her, and it's like, even though I haven't seen her for a long time, you and I have a shorthand. You know what I mean? We can catch up right away.
Right.
But you grew up in Kentucky. You were a beauty queen. You came out to LA, fresh off the boat, and here you are. You were like wanted to
And
do
here
your,
you are.
but you wanted to do your thing, and here you are, is fresh meat for all the animals, and you've navigated it.
I know. I had an older brother. That
Yes,
helped.
you navigated it well.
Yeah.
And it's like, so that could have gone a bad way.
It could have gone a bad way.
But you did, and then you got married. I don't remember if you knew what you wanted to do, if you wanted to act, if you wanted to model, sing. But then you like got married, and
Yeah.
you're like, I'm a home and hearth person.
Yeah.
And so that was, you got out.
I got out.
And it's sad that I say that, because it's like, I love it. I love Hollywood.
it?
I love
Right.
everything. It's given me my life.
But
it's
you
a
seem to do
joy.
a really great job of compartmentalizing, and staying true to who you are, and
Right.
I try because,
seeing but not absorbing all the other stuff.
yeah, I mean,
Yeah, but how are you surviving having such, like, speaking out about this stuff? Because it's so, people get very upset about it.
I think that it's getting smaller. I think what you
People are
like,
waking up.
like you and I could go. We could go to a party in, let's say 2005, and let's say she's on a show. Let's say she's doing a guest spot on Friends or something.
Mm-hmm.
You don't know anyone's political beliefs, but if you do, someone could be a Republican, which Ronald Reagan was, and ran Hollywood. Okay,
I know. He was an actor.
A super, exactly,
Right.
super Republican. And then someone could be like LGBTQ. Like we've known gay people trans since I got off the bus. Like
Right.
they've always been around, right? So no one would think twice of it. It was just that way it was.
No, when I
But-
was doing acting, my favorite people to hang out with on sets were usually the gay guys, because they were so like safe. I felt like they weren't the ones that were
Right.
hitting on you, and
Yeah.
they were usually the best people to go hang out with on a set.
And they're fun. They'll tell you the truth
They're
about how you
fun.
look and your
They would
makeup.
help-
They're like,
they'd
honey,
help
get
me.
over
They'd be
here.
like,
We have
"Girl,
to fix this mess.
A
Yeah.
1,000%.
Right.
They were my favorite
1,000%.
ones.
And it's crazy that you say that, but it's true about the safeness part of
Yeah, I
that.
felt
Because
safe.
you
I
felt
was
safe,
like,
and
okay.
it's sad that you couldn't even be around a dude that you didn't feel like was trying to fucking, hit it.
Yeah.
So here's the thing is that you, I don't, the Hollywood's getting more and more, like, it's only, first of all, it's a totally different world. So
Right.
there's only $200 million movies and indies. There's no little movies anymore.
Oh yeah.
And you knew 3 movies this year that were up for 10. Like the rest of the 7, did you know the rest of the movies? You knew
Right.
Oppenheimer, you knew Barbie, and you knew Poor Things.
Oh yeah.
And the rest of them you didn't really hear about. So it's a totally different business now, and more. And then look at all the people. I just read that
So many people
Sylvester
left.
Stallone, Mark Wahlberg, and Denzel Washington signed. I don't know if this is true, but I know Mark's starting a studio in Vegas.
Ooh, I
but he
heard that.
started. They signed a thing where they wanted to make
Yeah,
some
because
type
we just
of.
moved into the Summit.
Yes.
Yeah.
They want to make a move. They wanted to do this studio like, I don't know what it was called. It was like value-based studio or something where it was like
he's a big Catholic.
yeah, so it was like a morally
right.
based. Well, like we.
I
And
like Mark
Denzel?
Wahlberg.
Yeah, and I read that. Now I don't know if it's true, but I know Mark is definitely doing something. But what I'm saying is that's never happened before.
Right.
Right.
So
Not
the
that
whole.
do that.
So it's perfect time, and I feel like I gotta speak out. If not, I'm not doing my job.
Yeah. Well, I'm glad you are.
Were you raised as a Christian or a Catholic, or were you raised
Catholic, but not like.
morals, just good people?
I mean, my mother like beat Catholicism into me, and I was annoyed by it, but so it made me run. And my dad was more like in the aliens and alternative
Right.
thinking.
Oh, really?
Yeah,
So
but
you've had an open mind.
yes, I've had an open mind my whole life. But when I went to LA, it was like I still had my. I always look at myself as like, like I'm fun. I'm like a trickster, meaning like I like to go right to the edge, but I don't want to cross it. I can push you to it, and I don't want to hurt anybody. But I like to have fun. You know what I mean?
Boundaries.
Yeah, but I just believe that you can do whatever you want. You don't have to hurt people in the process.
Yeah.
Because
No,
I
really
want to
like
do
that.
what I want done to me. Like
Right. No, you're a good person.
I try to be.
You've always been a good person.
Well, it sounds like
Becca.
you have a good heart. Yeah.
Well, I try. I mean, I tried, and that's what's weird about this stuff to me, and it's evil.
It
Yeah, because
is.
there's a lot of evil stuff there. That's just not. I mean, you
But
could
when
be
you
a
live in a-
comedian and you're calling out people, but it's not evil. It's like, come on, laugh.
No.
But this stuff that's going on is like pure evil. Like,
It goes deep through.
I mean,
police
we would
stations
know
even.
what's going on with this Epstein.
No,
list,
Freemasons
right?
even are deep within like police stations and everything.
Yeah. If that was a place to go, we'd know more about what's happening with that.
Did you hear that Disneyland is buying Epstein Island now for $3 billion?
There's no way that's true. I saw that.
Did you see that?
I don't believe that's true. There's no way that's true.
Either.
It's not true.
And what
Can't be true.
parent would ever bring their child to Epstein Island? I'm sorry, but if you would bring your child
that
there,
would be
there's something
insane
wrong with
to
you.
do.
It cannot be true.
Cannot be
It
true.
I
cannot
was
be
wondering,
true.
is this
Cannot be
just like
true.
fake news? Like,
I think
what
that
is
is.
this?
It can't be. The pushback would be insane.
Right.
But what first of all, that's insane. You know, people that again is that revealing of the method where those dudes
Revelation
just
of the
joking,
method, yeah.
or are they saying it to put? I know you're making me breathe heavy.
I know.
So it's like
because I
it's
can't
anxiety.
believe that this stuff is real. And like,
Well, here's what's happening. I think that I can't either. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
And that was much more closer to it than I've ever heard or seen. And it's like, not heard, but like seen. I've never met anybody that knows or went to these places. So it's like when you're saying this about, I think the Diddy stuff could start
I wanted to talk to you about the
unraveling
Diddy
stuff.
a lot of things. I think it could
it has
really.
to be
Have you ever met P.
connected
Diddy?
at some point.
Multiple times.
Okay.
And I talked about it. He was a nice guy to me.
Okay.
You know what I mean? Like, he had great parties, but I told people.
Did you go to the party and the after
No,
party?
here's
and
when
the
I
after
went.
party?
You would go. He had an amazing party at 2002 MTV after parties. I talked about it. It was an amazing party. And then if there was an after party, I was already gone, but that party went late. So it's like, I think whatever happens at the after
Yeah.
party.
The
You know what I'm s-
after
Yeah,
party.
you know what I mean? Like, and you know, we go to the after party.
Right.
So you go to an amazing party, as you know, and then the next party is somewhere in the hills.
At someone's house.
Yeah, and that goes to 4, and then you're good. And then the next one is a warehouse in Van Nuys, and I never go to Van Nuys.
No.
So once you go to Van Nuys, shit's going down.
Right.
No.
So maybe that's where it is. But I think it's the beginning of this revealing of crazy shit, because I think that they're saying he has so much evidence on people.
Yeah, it's kind of like Epstein, where it's
Yeah,
like
he's got-
it's not
they
just
got-
P.
But
Diddy,
will it come
it's-
out?
It's everything
will
that
it
he's
come out?
connected to, and that he can. Have you met Justin Bieber at one of those parties?
No, I never saw Biebs there. I saw
I'm-
Bieber in the beginning of his career. I did a Nickelodeon event, and he was there, and he was sweet. He was 15.
Yeah.
I hope to
I
God.
get-
I hope to God none of that's true.
That's what I
I hope to God none of it's true.
I hope so too.
He was so sweet.
Yeah.
So I.
Seems
Innocent
like he
child when he
still
came
is
out
sweet.
here, and
Yeah. I mean, he's married. He's, he doesn't have
It just
to
seems
be.
like he adores his wife.
Yeah.
and he just wants peace.
He's married. He
and-
doesn't have to be.
Well, he doesn't have to be. I mean, he's the
No, he
world's most
doesn't.
eligible.
I know, right?
I
But
mean,
he loves her. It
No,
looks
it's-
like, I
that's
don't
what I'm saying.
know.
It's a
She
beautiful
loves him.
thing.
She takes care of him.
it's beautiful. Yes.
I feel like they're each other's safe place.
Yeah.
But
in
you know,
Hollywood.
lots of crazy stuff have gone on. I mean, like, what's happening with Britney? Is that even Britney? Do you
Oh
think?
my
this
gosh,
is
free Britney.
Like, honestly,
Great. Let me wake
Can we
up.
talk about-
You guys went.
we're coming out with the big
Come on,
guns.
tell us about Britney.
I was having the coffee bean, and Satan's helper was there, and he told me he was going to Baphomet's house. Jesus
Yes, the
Christ.
Baphomet. Oh god.
Here, let's go slow.
But can we
Let's
talk about
go
Britney?
slow. Jesus.
I didn't say anything.
Let's go Baphomet.
Okay.
Do you know what that is? And then I'll go to Britney.
Yes.
So, by the way, I think Britney sold her house.
Why does Baphomet
In
come
Vegas?
before Britney?
Yeah.
Well, it's a
I feel
deeper
like-
conversation.
I feel like Baphomet's deeper, right?
Yeah, so here's what it is. So all this stuff you're seeing here, it's funny what you guys are talking about. I'm not crazy. I'm not a religious person. I'm a person that believes in goodness. I'm a common sense person. I'm more, as I get older, I'm starting to think that the Ten Commandments are kind of like the most thing that everyone should live by.
Right.
It's pretty simple.
It's pretty simple.
Be a good person.
Right.
Don't steal. Don't try to screw your neighbor's wife. You know what I mean? Like, don't kill anybody. It's
Right.
pretty simple. You know what I'm saying? Like,
The world would be a better place.
it's really basically like, I don't like to be slapped, so please don't slap me. That's what it is. You know what I mean?
Exactly.
Just
Treat people with respect.
Yeah, I-
get respect.
I like cashmere sweaters.
I'll give you one for Christmas.
and I'll give you one back. You know what I mean? Like, I like soft things, nice things.
I do too.
So this thing I'm learning about with all this stuff is so here's what I want to say. The Balenciaga shit.
Yeah. Oh.
So to explain what she was saying is why this shit can never
Balenciaga, Baphomet, and Britney.
why it's literally a good versus evil thing. Like, we're in a war that's so bizarre that, like, we're not going to get any help unless we do it ourselves, because it's so entrenched. So I did a whole thing about Celine Dion, and I hope she's feeling better, and she's an amazing artist, but she started a children's clothing line that is so bizarre.
Oh my gosh, her clothing
so
line.
bizarre that it's just clearly what it is.
It's satanic.
Not all these people control all of us. 1, 2, 3.
Yeah.
It's not like Dawkins, okay? Dawkins is like a hardcore. I'm talking about the lightest pop stars to have some dark affiliations to shit. And you're like,
Absolutely.
why do you have that?
Yeah.
And that's what I say is how they really get you is they dress it like you guys.
Mm-hmm.
Like you guys would be perfect Satanists because you're like, hi, would you like some tea? And you're like, you don't expect it. They expect guys like,
Mm-hmm.
but
Yeah.
so that's how they're delivering it. So if you look at Balenciaga, it's really simple. It's completely true. Because that photo shoot, as you and you
Right.
both know, you can't shoot
That wasn't a
anything
mistake.
for J.C. Penney
Right.
local catalog without 15 people arranging the shot.
Exactly.
Right.
Let alone this.
Yes.
No fucking way.
I
So
know.
Balenciaga,
I was like, it
short,
wasn't a mistake and they got caught. This was
Right.
completely done by design.
1,000 things.
Because they have to show and say what.
They have to reveal. So the simplest thing
okay.
is this: if you believe in this stuff, Lucifer is the head, and Baphomet is the person that's pushing the boundaries. He has no gender, no sexuality,
It's half man, half woman,
and
half
have
goat.
everything. And it's just like accept me as I am. So that pushes the boundaries. And Baal is his other side, and basically Baal says, "Hey, there's always children with Baal." And the children, you suck the life
Moloch.
of them. It's like a Moloch, which is another
Yes.
They're like the same entity.
Yeah.
and
right?
and they basically so have no boundaries. Kids are our fuel, and it feeds the big guy. That's basically, in a nutshell, the simpleness of this shit. And it's everywhere in the world. So Balenciaga, people are still wearing their clothes. They still have
making
mall out
sacrifices
fronts.
to him.
No, so the fact that it won't stop shows you how deep this goes, in my opinion.
Like Kim Kardashian has now reinstated her endorsements with.
Insane,
I was like, after all that,
insane. That's
and the
crazy.
the mother of 4 children. It's
Well, there's, and I don't want to go bad on the Kardashians because they've always been cool to me. But I mean, they say there's some witches there.
I
They say there's some witch coven there.
I see no lies detected.
You know what I mean? So, but that's why I started thinking about it. I started thinking about it. Like, I was successful in spite of things. It's weird because
You produced a lot of your own stuff, though, right?
well, I did, but I've also been in a lot of stuff where I was
Yeah, yeah.
cast and different things. So it's like, I do believe, like she was saying way earlier, that the CIA is in charge of a lot of the stuff and they place people. They place people, and you're like, why is this
I
person
think
there
it's
so
the music
much?
industry, and I think some of the reality stars kind of thing. I think they use it as to set trends and to, set mindsets and get us thinking certain ways. I've heard, and so since you're friends with the Kardashians,
I'm not friends, but they've always been
Yeah.
cool to me. But
I'll say it, but they're kind of used to push a lot of the interracial marriage and to push fatherless children, fatherless homes, to kind of emasculate men and to get women to be.
but there's nothing wrong with interracial marriage.
No, not at all.
Okay.
I'm not. So this is not my opinion.
Yes.
I'm not my opinion at all.
Yes.
I believe there's no race at all. I believe there's one race.
Human race.
Yeah,
Thank
absolutely.
you. I'm with you. Thank you.
So that's my
Yes.
vision on this.
Yes.
But kind of like the jail and hip hop music, same thing. They actually find a lot of power in the black white, like the checkerboard floors. It's all the same thing. There's a lot of power in that. It's energy. So there's a lot of energy. We're energetic beings. Magic is energy. And the number 11 correlates with the black, and the number 11 correlates with the white, and it also is the letter K for Kennedy, but nothing against us. That's why the KKK is KKK, and that's why the Kardashians are K, and that's why they do all the black white, because there's so much energy. It's an energetic pool, the paradigm. So yeah, so they use.
Wait
these-
a minute.
Wow.
They
And they
just
want
found a family with
fatherless
a bunch
homes.
of K's?
Well, who
Wait,
knows
a
if
bunch
that
of
was
Ks?
really
Like, they weren't, when they were born, they didn't know that they were going to be used as this, so they just happened
Did
to
they
have.
not?
I don't know.
It's pretty
That's what I'm
fascinating that they're all
saying.
K.
I don't
Right?
know.
They're all K.
One of my friends back home, everyone in the family is a J. So some families do that.
Yeah, they do. But I also believe
Are they
some
Satanists?
people.
No, not at all.
No, I believe
Not
some
even
people we don't
close.
know their real life story. They were part of bloodlines and meant to be where they're at in Hollywood. But the story we've been told about their childhood isn't what it is, but they're actually bloodline.
You've looked into this?
Yeah.
Wow. Now I know why you're down here. You can't say that in Hidden Hills.
Okay.
Maybe Homely Hills?
Wow.
I don't know. Maybe not. I'm just saying.
It's fascinating.
It's fascinating.
It
It's
is.
interesting. And,
So, but here,
yeah.
where do you hear that? Like, where do you?
She goes down rabbit holes.
Yeah.
I do too, but
I don't
different
have
ones.
television.
I don't really. I don't.
Do you watch television? I'm getting to the point where I don't watch a lot of stuff
No.
because I
I don't
think
watch
it's
either.
like mind numbing.
I watch documentaries. I read books. I listen to things.
That's what I
listen
do
to
too.
podcasts, and I actually study the Bible.
Yeah.
And if you start studying parts of the Bible, like King Solomon's temple and things like that, it actually ties into the Freemasonry and like you were talking about Baal and Moloch and all that. So I actually like to study biblical things and how they all tie together.
Do you ever
Because
do that?
Satan is just a copycat, so he can't
Yeah.
create; he can only imitate. So all the Satanist stuff, it's really just him taking things from the Bible, him taking things from God's plan, and counterfeiting it.
Because he's a fallen angel.
Well, there.
So are you a super religious?
Yes,
What's your religion?
I'm a Christian.
You're a Christian and you
I'm a
are
Christian.
You're a Christian. Now were you always religious in Hollywood?
I was raised Mormon.
You were Mormon.
So she
Yeah.
was Mormon. Yeah.
That's
So
why
you were
I
more
got-
intense.
And then I was
More intense.
yeah. So the more Mormon religion is very intense. It's a
But
cult
there are
religion.
also a lot of weird shit around Mormons.
a lot of weird shit.
Yes.
Yeah.
That
So
Mormon
that's
lady.
how I got really into the Freemasonry because the human trafficking aspect and satanic ritual abuse that I was helping in cases with, in the rescue and helping healing these children and getting them out of things. But then also, I have been in the Mormon temple. I've worn the underwear, and I've gone through
The underwear.
The Mormon.
What's the underwear?
There's
Like a chastity
there's
belt.
Mormon garments is what they're called.
Oh, that white thing.
Yeah.
So let me ask you this. How long were you a Mormon for?
40 years. Well, not quite. Sorry, but so
Are you out of it?
Yes. So
Do you feel that it was
about 37 or 38.
Did you
years.
rebel when you got out of it?
So I actually married a non-Mormon.
Mm-hmm.
So I wasn't really Mormon while I was married, but I still believed it was true, and I would still teach my kids little parts of the Book of Mormon or prayers or songs I learned. And we would go to church on holidays and things like that. I just wasn't practicing it, but I thought it was probably true still. And so then when we got divorced, that's when I went to the temple and I got full-blown hardcore back into it. And I thought it would give my family strength, and I thought then I can have my family together forever in the celestial kingdom. That's how that all went. And then with all the Freemasonry and the Hollywood stuff, I started to see everything I was seeing in the temple in the Freemasonry. And I thought, why is that the veil and the handshakes and the aprons and the hat? And I was like, something weird is going on. And that's when I needed to discover the truth. And I started praying. And I went through a really hard time with another breakup after my divorce. And I got really sick. And I thought I was dying, really. And so I was ready to turn my life over to God. I came down with 3 autoimmune diseases and all these other things, and was in a pretty toxic, unhealthy, abusive relationship. And I said, God, I'm ready to turn my whole life over to you, but I don't know about this Mormon thing anymore, because now I'm a little freaked out and I want to follow you. I want to surrender, but who are you? Show me. And so I prayed that, and he showed me who he is. And
How did that happen?
the Holy Spirit just kind of will guide you. The more you say yes to God, and the more you pray to him, and the more you ask him to show you, and the more you humble yourself and say, I don't know, I'm asking you, like, take all the scales off my eyes, take these layers like an onion off of me of what I believe, and, take my pride away.
When you seek me, you
and
shall
just-
find me.
Yeah, so
Wow.
Have you noticed, like, Joe Rogan's reading a lot of the Bible on his podcast?
I noticed
talking
that.
about God.
I noticed
Getting
that.
deeper and deeper. He's doing his research on it. So
Are you
doing that?
Were you a Bible thumper when I knew you?
I've always been I've been a Bible girl my whole life.
she grew up isn't it the Bible Belt, Kentucky?
Yeah, but you grow up and you live, and what they always say, my mom's friends are like, what you do, you go out, you always come back to who you were when you were younger. So you go out and you go live a little bit, and then you come back, and whoever you really are inside, that's how you are. That's
I like
how
when you talk with your southern accent.
But it's true, though. I was baptized. My mom baptized all Catholic when we were babies, and then like we were baptized. Then it was our decision. So I got baptized when I was like 8, and then when I turned a teenager, I wanted to be baptized again because then I really understood what was going on. So I baptized again, So I've been baptized like 3 times. And then, I was always in youth groups and always going to church my whole life growing up. My parents are both Christians, but I think Catholic is very different than Christian. It's very, growing up in a non-denominational Christian home it's almost a very freeing place. It's you realize that God is super forgiving and understands that we're all human, and it's you can breathe. It's not based on guilt or judgment.
It's not a religion.
Or
So Jesus didn't come here for a religion.
Jesus was a rebel. He just kind of wandered around and spoke out and
he actually didn't start a religion when he was here. He never did.
Yeah, it's I think it's the churches and people that ruin it. But if you read the Bible, I just finished reading it from front to back.
What?
All of it, because I wanted to read it all.
What?
Yes. It's amazing what you can find in the Bible. It's an incredible resource.
How? You read it from front to back.
Yes, I listened to some audio.
Oh, you audio Bibled.
But I do both.
Audio Bible. You
Bible.
listened to the Bible front to back.
I read a lot of it too.
How long did it take you?
It took me a year and a half.
You read every night?
Yes, before I go to bed. And sometimes if I have a long drive, that's when I'll listen to audio or whatever.
Is your boyfriend Christian?
Yes.
So he's similar like you.
Yes. Wow. But I mean,
you drink wine?
Yes.
Okay, I don't drink.
You don't
I haven't
drink
drank in 5 years.
Tell me about. Are you sober?
Yeah.
No.
No.
I just think it lowers your vibrations.
It does.
You know what I mean?
We're not big drinkers.
But I only.
We're health nuts.
No, I'm not
it kills
judging
your
you.
brain cells.
But
it
I actually
ages
think
you. It lowers your vibration.
It does.
I think
your
like,
frequencies.
Imagine if we're all like these like things that like are like these energy, like you were saying, right? So you're there, and then you put a bunch of wine, you pour a bunch of wine on us. Then we're like,
that's true.
But if you were to give everybody mushrooms, which I don't take, but I would, little doses of them from the earth, and everyone's like,
happy.
So I believe that the booze is actually put here by the bats.
I think so too. I don't drink a lot.
Spencer Pratt told me I could drink tequila though, and it wouldn't affect my vibration. So I haven't broken it.
If I drink, it's a little tequila or wine.
That's what he said. Drink tequila if you drink.
I only drink either tequila or wine, and that's it.
But I do believe it. I'm not saying I won't drink again. I'm actually think it's a science thing.
No, sometimes I want to just be completely sober, but it kind of triggers me because from my Mormon days where it wasn't allowed and it was you're bad and you're going so sinning and all the rules that it triggers me that I'm not allowed to. But I don't drink that much anyway. But when I do, I don't feel like great about myself or anything.
No, we just don't drink. We don't really drink.
You're health nuts.
Fear of like, I won't be fun if I can't. I don't know. But I don't.
It's society.
It's
they basically tell you.
They do.
We've been indoctrinated because football and good times and have fun
and mommy wine culture.
Yeah. Oh boy, mommy wine. They're the most annoying.
Mommy needs her wine.
Right? We agree on that.
I'm not gonna lie.
I will say though,
mommy wine.
You don't have kids, Jamie, but when you have babies that are really young, and
you got to hit that bottle.
You have. I think I drank more during when my kids were babies, and you're kind of chained to the house.
That you're gonna say I drank more when I was pregnant.
No,
than I ever drank.
Than ever, because I don't. I mean, I've gone 6 months and not drinking. The only time I drank a lot was
during COVID. I have to say, I was like, ugh, this is gross. I drank during COVID because there was nothing to do, and all my neighbors and the guy I was with at the time, like I was just drinking. I felt gross.
You felt gross.
I felt gross.
I mean, you could have did other stuff. You were by the beach.
Like what?
You could have went out.
Oh no, they taped off. Gavin Newsom taped off our beach.
Oh yeah.
We couldn't go on the beach.
I got in trouble.
They tackled the guy.
I went under the yellow tape and went on the beach one day for a nice little walk, and I got yelled at. And yeah.
Yeah, my kids got yelled at too because my parents have a house here on the beach, and they ran out and they come right up. They're like, "Get back to the house! Get back! Get off the sand!" I'm like, "There's no one here. Are you kidding me?"
Yeah, I lived in this beautiful community right by Fashion Island, and you pay a lot of money to live there and have the pools and the barbecue pits.
Oh yeah, we were out there
at the villas.
Yeah,
and they wouldn't let you out.
They wouldn't let the kids go to the pool.
Let the kids go in the pool. They shut down the barbecues.
They made it,
fire pits.
And then when they opened it up, they made you make an appointment.
Yeah,
your kids can go from this time to this time, and
they would come to the pool.
And they would come cleaning with like they would be covered in like hazmat suits and spraying it down after my kids swam in the pool. Yep. When the next kids came,
and they tell us that we had to leave the pool. You've got to be kidding me.
It's insanity.
Do you think that? Because I do a lot of jokes about it. Do you think that whole thing was a ritual?
Oh yeah, for sure.
I hadn't thought about it
The
as
6
ritual.
feet.
I just thought it was
The 6 feet is the
definitely-
energy. You know that you get into someone's energy when you get in with 6 feet of them.
Really?
Energetic field, the frequency.
Well, they wanted to keep us apart.
That's why you're 6 feet apart, because your energy starts to you start to feel each other's energy and your vibration when you're within 6 feet of them. Yeah, for sure. And then being locked down. Well, I have other thoughts on why we're locked down too. Yeah, it's ritual, but also I think they wanted us to watch all of those documentaries about. Did you watch all the like Out of Shadows, Follow Cabal, like
All that.
We watched all of them.
Chess? Like, did you watch
Yeah,
all
what
of
if,
that?
why?
I think they wanted us locked down so that we'd watch all of that, so that we'd get super into all of this. Did you watch the Attilian Childs?
I didn't see that
thing,
one.
That one too, about all the Freemasonry. So I think they wanted us locked down so that we'd get really into all of that and the Epstein and all of that, get fired up and be really absorbed with all of this and get into our emotions and feelings. Because when you live in your limbic brain, you don't make decisions that are wise.
Why would they want us to see things that...
They wanted us all to hate each other. They wanted the George Floyd. They wanted all of us against each other.
But we're against them.
Well, not really. There's still the blue and the
Well,
red
there's a
and
ton of
the
people that
liberal
don't...
and the-
There's a ton of people that think the government was nice to
But
them.
more and more people are I think,
Waking up. The fact that you are saying all this stuff so intensely.
But what I really believe it's all gonna, I think they wanted us not to be conspiracy theorists, and I think they wanted us all getting into all of this. And I think that they're going to end up making Christianity, they're going to discredit Christianity this way. They're going to say that the Freemasons have gotten into the Christian churches, and then they're going to discredit that. And then the ultimate goal is to have everyone worshiping the one world leader, this one world religion. And they're going to say, well, Freemasonry got into Catholicism, Mormonism, Christianity, and now they're all corrupt, and they're going to discredit Christianity as the final
You
one.
actually think they're going to try to outlaw religions?
I don't know if it's
making that one
outlaw it.
religion church.
Yeah.
Well, what is that?
Well, there's the Noahide laws. So
I don't know what is that.
Oh, well, it says if you worship Christianity, Jesus said you can be beheaded, and they signed the Noahide.
What?
They signed the Noahide laws.
Where?
You know about the Noahide laws?
No.
Where?
I have to look.
In Orange County?
No.
Why didn't they put that out there? Well, I don't know.
Didn't Trump sign?
We don't
those?
watch TV, so-
or Bush signed the.
I don't know. Is there even a presidential election happening this year? I've heard nothing. Like, I don't even know what goes on.
Does it even? They
Honestly,
You need to put down the wine bottle.
I don't drink. I mean, I don't drink very much.
Not
No,
a
it's
lot.
fine.
You know a lot more than
Hold
me.
on, you guys are all over the place. You're Lucifer, the Bible,
I think that's what that
SRA,
Lucifer and the
gluten.
Bible. That's one side and the
Gluten.
other.
I'm allergic to gluten.
We don't like gluten either.
Wait a minute. Are you? So you were married and now you're not married anymore. Mm-hmm. And
Yeah,
you have
that's where
your.
I got Kennedy from. So I'm not actually a Kennedy. My ex-husband's last name was Kennedy.
No, I know. I'm trying to think what he
Boys.
does.
You might know him.
Would I know him?
Maybe.
He knows you.
Well, I mean, no
I have 3
offense.
boys and their last name is Kennedy. So
No
I
offense. A
changed
couple
it.
people know me. Wait, what is he? An actor?
No, he's an athlete.
First name?
Adam.
Sport?
Baseball.
Team?
Dodgers and Angels.
I remember him.
Yeah.
Still playing?
No, he's retired now. He coaches my son's baseball team.
Legend.
Okay, Adam,
He
did you
was
hear
great.
that?
He was good.
He was great, Adam. He was great. I want to say that
So
he
we-
was he there when I did the Dave Roberts prank?
Probably. So he actually was a big fan of yours, and we used to
Thank you,
watch
Adam.
We would watch you on your prank show, and we'd watch you on Malibu's Most Wanted, and we'd watch you on something like maybe
boys love
we weren't really
Malibu's
into like
Most
Scream
Wanted.
and stuff because I don't like scary movies to be
Scary
honest.
movies, yes.
But we'd watch you on shows and everything.
Thank you. I appreciate that.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. So
But there was a time when the Dodgers were owned by a guy and his 2 sons, the McCourts. And I used to see those guys at parties. Maybe I met your husband.
Maybe.
with the McCourt Jr. Do you remember the McCourts?
I know that name.
They
yeah.
owned the Dodgers probably
Okay.
when Adam played for them.
Maybe.
Wow.
Yeah, and St. Louis Cardinals, Angels, Mariners, and Oakland A's. Yeah.
So you were with an athlete, and were you with an athlete?
Was I with an athlete?
You didn't think about it.
Not long term, no.
Not married to an athlete. You weren't married to an
No.
athlete.
No.
He looks like one. But
He played, yeah, no. He played basketball
Mm-hmm.
and
And now he coaches your boys in basketball.
He's like, yeah, but
They're good dads.
He didn't
That's
play
beautiful. I love
Yeah.
the
for
fact that you
sport.
guys are close with your ex-husbands.
It's
Yeah.
nice. I mean,
It's the way it should be.
'cause
You
it's
remember
for the
my
kids.
best friend in LA though? She was dating, engaged to Baron Davis.
I remember who
That's
was
what you remember, Rebecca.
Rebecca.
Remember Rebecca?
I remember because I remember. Yeah, so when I would see you or hang out with you, Rebecca was with Baron a lot.
Yes, they were engaged.
Yes.
Yeah, they were together for a long time. Yeah.
Have you ever been
Wow.
married?
No,
Never been engaged or married?
no.
Do you want to be? Do you want kids?
I mean, I'm 53.
You can still do it.
I can. It's just a matter of like.
Larry King had a kid when he was like 90.
You had a girlfriend though. You don't have
Al
a girlfriend now.
Al Pacino. I have a girlfriend.
Pacino
You
now.
have a
is like
girlfriend, okay.
70. Oh, you have a girlfriend right now?
I have a girlfriend
oh,
now.
okay.
Al Pacino just had a baby at 84.
Yeah.
I mean, you guys could.
Guys
Here's the
have
thing
it,
is,
so, I mean, it's-
you're right. Guys
it's a
have
cruel
it.
world.
The whole thing is this, and I had this talk yesterday on my podcast with somebody, and she said, the big thing with you, Jamie, is how much you can give over to somebody, even though having a child just as a woman will change you forever. It might be different for you because it's not coming out of you, and you are so in. I just do so many things, and like I would never. No offense to you, but I was never bored during the pandemic. I was getting caught up with so many different things in my life.
I wasn't bored. I was actually going down all kinds of rabbit holes and
That's
having
good.
fun with it.
That's good.
But everyone around me was just like, have a drink. It's Tuesday
No.
and I don't know what time.
And everyone was
I
doing
grew
that.
up not drinking at all. I went to college and had Shasta root beer parties
That sounds like a good time.
in Utah. And then I came back to California, got married, and had kids. So during COVID I probably drank more than I'd ever drinking in my entire life.
No, yeah.
So, but I wasn't bored.
No,
had
I
fun.
mean, I don't mean
It was a
that.
great time. I just had to detox.
Kids were bored. We were.
The kids.
Yeah.
were
It was
bored.
harder with kids.
It's hard for sure,
It's
but
hard to-
all I'm saying is I do so many different things. My brain
Right.
doesn't stop, so that's
Does
why
your girlfriend want kids?
probably
Are you going to get married?
Do you guys talk about it?
Come on.
we're
been together?
at that point. A few years. We're at that point
It's time.
where
you
it's
gotta
either
have
got to
that
do it
talk.
or not. You know what I'm
Yeah.
saying? But I've always been self-involved. It's like it's
Right.
tough. You know
Yeah.
what I mean?
No,
and it's
it's-
like
it will change your life, for
Am I
sure.
selfish? No, I just have a lot of self-interest.
Right.
I think
Selfish
it's
or
less
self-interest?
selfish. I
That's
think it's
a good
more
shirt.
selfish to have a child just because you want to have that, accolade almost, or that have a.
Right.
I think it's more selfish to have a child when you don't truly feel you could be a good parent to
Where
You're
is the-
raising a human being.
Yeah, but
so-
look at where the world's going.
yeah.
Where do you
That's-
think? Look at your kids. How old are your kids?
12 and 13.
Okay, you got these two wonderful children, and you've got three.
3.
Okay. What do you see the world as when your kids are 20?
I'm worried.
I'm worried too.
I'm
Worried.
concerned.
I'm worried.
Worried.
Yeah.
You first of all, you can't stop it. Okay.
Nope.
Yeah.
Do you?
That's why I love Jesus.
I know, but Jesus
Because
needs,
I'm worried.
Jesus needs to help you with understanding that AI. You know AI,
I'm
which is a whole other thing, which could
That is
also
an
be
animal.
tied into this shit.
I agree.
Of like this digital demon.
I agree.
Right, but
We're
we can't.
doing hand symbols
Because
now.
I know threes.
You gotta
the secret.
stop with
I'm
it.
kidding. I'm just expressing myself. If
You're
you see,
doing the same-
you never see me do that. That would
Or
be
that.
no,
Yeah, no.
I go like that.
Yeah,
So
no.
That's way
all
better.
right, like
Okay.
this. Am I doing
Way
that?
better.
It's okay. You can use your hands, guys. It doesn't mean everyone's a demon. All right. Check
true.
my fucking shit. So
It's true.
so listen. Here's what it is that it's funny because I did something recently. I did a thing like that. And somebody said it was
Demonic or something.
no. They said I'm scared to even say it. I did it like this, but I was like, "What's up?" And I threw my hand weird, and the guy's like, "White power."
Oh, yeah, that
And
is
I'm
one.
like, "I'm not white power. I just I
that's
said
the latest-
okay."
That's the latest
And
thing.
I was
is,
like,
Yeah.
"White power." He like, I was like, "Yo, dude."
the latest thing is if you do that, it's why.
A girl
So-
was doing that in a picture that I was in, and I
White.
was with Emily and a couple of other girls that were
And now
on
it's
that
the new.
show. And people were going crazy and ripping
It's-
her apart. Nobody knew. I thought it was like A-okay. I don't know. I wasn't doing it, but
So let's go
I
down.
realized.
In 8 years, when your kid's 20, you're not going to recognize this world.
I know.
know.
Because of the exponential. Do you know the true power of exponentiality? Here's what it is. I try to tell people. Let's you and I golf,
Okay.
and every hole, I'm going to bet you 25 cents. But first hole, we're going to bet 25 cents, and each hole, we're going to double it. So the first hole's 25 cents, the next hole's 50, the next hole's $1, next $2, $4, $8. By the time you're at the last hole, you're at like $13,000. because of exponential. And you would never expect that starting at a quarter. That's what AI is.
Yeah, I agree.
And it sneaks up on you.
Yeah.
And there's already, my buddy, he is an app. We tried it. He had a song, created a song, gave it parameters within 80 seconds. An insane song. And he did it in 3 different genres.
Yeah.
This was 2 days ago.
There'll be no need for
So
And
this is the big actors.
Actors,
We're gonna have to have
Instagram.
100% human, organic made content, as we say. It
Yeah.
will be like a food, like
Yeah.
that. We'll label it. But also,
I only watch organic.
going back to the family, we're gonna be home and hearth. Like, I think you should have your own food because who knows what the hell's gonna be.
Yeah,
you
we
gotta
have
have
a lot of land.
I want a
chicken.
farm.
You need a cow.
I want a cow.
You need a way to make cheese, grow a couple pieces of fruit, a few vegetables, and that's it.
Yeah.
But so
I want that.
Yes.
Yeah,
we're
we
getting
all
there.
want
So this world that you have your children and God bless you, but it's intense.
I know.
I don't even know if they're gonna have girlfriends or boyfriends.
Or they're going to go into meta.
Yeah.
And then they're going to have their
Like-
relationships in there.
I don't know. My
right?
little one, I can't keep him in the house though. He's
at- I say
he's out on the bike and he's
physical
running around.
activity. I think is the best thing
For those boys.
for boys and for all, but girls and for all of
Right.
us. Like just getting back to nature.
Or to being outside and being
The sun.
Uh-huh.
I was in Beverly Hills the other day when the eclipse happened, and I just
Yeah.
sat there and I just took the sun in, and I was like, we didn't really get it here as much as Texas,
yeah.
but I was like,
We went out.
whatever it is, I'm
to.
trying to take it in.
Take it in, yeah.
Because the sun is
Every
good
day.
for you. They lied about that too.
They lied about that too.
Wait, is the sun a liar?
No,
The sun is
Oh, the sun is good for you.
The sun
The
is good for
news.
you.
The sun is
It's
good.
really good
Well,
for
what about
you.
the skin cancers?
It doesn't come from the sun. It comes from sunscreen.
It also comes from
seed
an
oils
unhealthy
and
body.
unhealthy diet
If you're unhealthy, your
I mean,
skin can
Don't get me wrong.
burns
I'm
much
sure
easier than-
some of it can be
Right.
caused from too much.
You've seen a couple of those leather women.
But-
A couple
yeah.
women that were at
Yeah.
the
But
beach too
that's
long.
not necessarily
looking like
skin
an
cancer,
old
though.
Virginia Slim.
Because it
Yeah, but you can. Was it Magda?
because it does
Magda.
from something about
from
Mary.
something about Mary.
lady was like,
She
yeah.
was outside just burning
Yeah,
with
she's
her.
burning up.
Because it does break down your collagen.
Yeah, a little bit.
But that's not necessarily skin cancer. But if you eat canola oils, all these crude
Yeah.
oils that are in all of our food, and then you
Yeah.
combine that with sun exposure, or all the sunscreen that has all these chemicals and toxins that go through your biggest
Your body.
detox organ you have, which is your skin, and you're clogging that up with petroleum.
Yeah.
I mean, yeah, those Rockefellers, they got us there too.
You got to be really careful what's in your sunscreens.
Yeah. Do you want to talk about Britney though?
I feel for her. I
feel
hope.
for-
I hope
am
she's
brokenhearted over her. I think
it's sad. I mean,
Is it
she's,
Britney?
Do you believe is that Britney that we see on Instagram?
Because
Have you
there's,
do you
there's
follow her on
some,
Instagram?
There's some where the
Do you follow
filter
her?
comes on.
You don't see
and
her
you the
dances?
eye.
I see it, yeah, but I don't
And the
follow
filter
her.
Thing.
Do I
follow
think it's
her.
Britney?
Do you think that's her?
I do think it's Britney,
Yeah.
The
There's a lot
night
of
and
lithium.
I think that
Too much
she.
lithium.
No, I think she has. Unfortunately, she has a lot of money, and I think she's
Yeah.
being drained
She's a
by
slave.
all these enablers.
She's like locked in her house.
And I don't think she's of right mind. I do
No.
think it is her, but I do believe
Yeah.
in the clones and doubles and all that stuff.
I actually think it's her too. I think it's just a lot of.
And I just think it's terrible what's happened to her.
Yeah.
Someone needs to get to her and basically save her and
People
get her
that are
mind
supposed
right.
to love her and help her the
I believe
most
they're all taking from her.
are taking from
I believe
her.
they're all
I've talked to
taking
people
from
that
her.
were
It's so
possibly
mean.
hired to be her a therapist or whatever, but they have to sign NDAs and everything, which
Lou Taylor.
nobody wants to do that because they can't help her. If they can't speak on what's really happening, then how can you really help her unless you're just bought by the system too? They're going to hire you and you have to just be compliant to what they want to do, and you're not going to be able to break her free of what's going on. Then what's the point? She's so controlled. How
Her
does
mother
anyone
and
get
father
in?
and sister
She
should
probably
be helping her,
has
but
been
they're
so tormented too that she's not speaking. Like they keep giving her
think she's
lithium
allowed
and
to.
whatever. Yeah, she can't speak on anything.
she's under full like.
If you believe what we were talking about earlier when you say the revelation of the method, and if you believe that Black Mirror, which I think is an amazing show, but also revealing what's happening in our world slowly, and if you look at the episode with Miley
never watched
Cyrus,
it, but I want
you need to.
Okay.
Watch an episode with Miley Cyrus, who also could be, unfortunately, a victim of the system,
Right.
and I love her.
And Amanda Bynes.
But there's a great episode where have you ever seen this episode? Watch it tonight.
Okay.
And it's
Black
exactly what
Mirror.
you believe that's happening with Britney.
Okay.
And it's everything you're talking about.
They just like.
I believe it's happening. And it's sad.
I feel like
sad.
it's so sad, and it's and like Lou Taylor. Do you know about Lou Taylor?
Who's Lou Taylor?
She's the she owns the money, the company that does all the financials for like Britney Spears and like even the Kardashians and the Kardashians church, and all the money's like funneled through all of them all, and it's bad. Lindsay Lohan's dad even talked out about how Lou Taylor wanted him to conservatorship Lindsay Lohan and get her money, and he told her no. Like, yeah.
You better watch your ass when you go to Hidden Hills.
Oh,
you are
God.
calling them all out. She's
Shoot.
going.
She's like, no.
She's going hard on the Hidden. That was.
I heard you say something good. Oh gosh. Oh my gosh. Okay.
I have jokes. I do jokes
Oh, okay. Because I'm scared. I'm kidding. I'm not scared. Where are your parents at?
with heaven.
Oh,
They're in
I'm
heaven.
sorry.
That's okay. They were.
There.
They would be fertilizer now because they're older.
Okay.
Another awkward moment, but no, they were. My mom died when she was 90. One of the
really?
last things was her was
Oh, okay.
wiping her
So
butt.
okay. Yeah.
She's been.
Okay.
God bless her soul. My
Yeah.
dad was 87, and he was like, "I got cancer, smoking." And I was like,
Okay.
So it was my parents' deaths. My dad were around my sisters. It was the most beautiful death ever. My mother's.
brought you all together.
It was.
Yeah.
I feel bad that she died in her sleep. You know what I mean? Because we tried to time it. But my sister's
Right.
convinced that they wanted her. She wanted to go out alone. And so,
Okay.
but they lived together. I've had them for 50 years.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And when my dad died, my first thing I said at the after party, and we had one at the funeral, is finally my mom can date again. She didn't have a uterus, but he's too far. No, it's a joke because she was 85. I'm sorry. Who's up? No, they've lived a very long life. A very long life.
A good life.
Yes.
A good
Okay.
life.
Until they're not. You're only supposed to go 78, 4 on either side. You know what that means, right? Our natural lifespan is 78. So it's either 74 you go or 82. My parents went way past.
Okay.
So it's like, that old great joke that Seinfeld used to do.
I don't know the 74 and the 80.
Meaning average lifespan is 78.
Yes.
So give or take 4 years.
4 years on either side. So if you're over that, you've
Yeah.
already beat the system.
Yeah.
Does that
A lot
make
of
sense?
people are
Yeah.
beating the system
A
now.
lot of people. Yeah, it just depends. I
Well,
don't
that's
know.
a whole other thing I talk about.
Oh,
Wow,
what?
Tell us about that.
Med beds?
Well, they have this whole thing that people are popping off, and they call it natural causes.
Oh,
Yeah.
yeah.
And I say, who died of natural causes? The Queen.
Tell us. Okay.
She was 108.
Yeah.
She wouldn't die.
Yeah.
She just wouldn't
Right.
die.
These jokes do better at Irvine Improv.
okay.
But okay, here's what. Well, let me see if I can finish this. So this whole thing is that
What?
this woman. This is another bullshit. So we're going to be careful how I say this
Okay.
because I don't know where you're at with Big Pharma, but I assume we're on the same page.
We're on the
I-
same page.
I ain't on that devil poke.
No.
All right? No devil poke. So they said this beautiful young athlete who's 23 years old died
Of natural-
because of natural causes because she was an Olympic rower and she did too many strokes. Now stay with me. Stay with me. She rowed every morning. Too many strokes. Stay with me. Okay. Just adjust that stroke. Do you know how many dead actresses there'd be in Los Angeles if this stroke
Oh my
killed you?
gosh.
The streets would be littered. Too far?
No, that.
I'm sick. This is a family show. Come on, the Mormons, the Mormons, the Mormons. Hello.
The wildest girls I knew in LA.
What? Speak on it. See, that's the thing. It's like, I believe you've got a good soul. I know you have a good soul. But the Mormons are like, we're all normal and freaky
Yeah.
Dickersons. It's
always,
like,
it's
Jesus.
always that, like, you can't.
Yeah, you
It's
can't.
it.
And I did a movie with Mormons, but everyone was actually like seemed chill.
Yeah, no, we're all different people, and
Yeah.
and for the most part, like,
Can't judge
Try to-
everybody.
The stuff that they're doing in Hollywood and these rituals and these things that are happening,
it affects our mental health. This is
it's
about mental
affecting
health.
people all over the world watch Hollywood. They watch the
Correct.
concerts. They watch
Correct.
the movies. They watch the award shows.
They're into
Well,
Taylor
all
Swift
of
and
our
Kanye
eyes
and
are
all
on there.
this,
So
and-
this is educating people on
I'm with
different
you.
things.
We
I
talked about
do-
the frequencies, which actually does make people spiritually sick and mentally. It causes depression and anxiety, And so a
So
lot of the things
sometimes
we're
you're not really
filling our minds
sad.
with.
You're just hearing a subliminal message in a song.
That's so awesome that you say that, because I feel this way, and I'm getting to the point where I'm really, like you said, how can you do this and be in Hollywood? And I'm getting sick of Hollywood.
A lot of people are leaving. I had a lot of
Like,
friends.
I'm only about this, like
Right.
expressing my beliefs. Do I love a good movie? Of course I do.
Right.
I love a good movie.
But it's
Haven't seen it in
like-
a long time.
It's all, there's not regular TV shows anymore.
Right.
And it's like you do 6 episodes on Netflix or whatever. But I'm
Yeah.
really believing if we go really down this rabbit hole, you have to say it in the correct way so people can understand it. Because people just when you do this stuff, you have to slowly baby step them. I do believe you just said something that is really where I'm at in my life, and it's hitting me, that really, literally Hollywood was and is created to put these messages out. That's it.
Yeah.
Nothing else.
It's a lot of mind control.
Nothing else. And sports, say whatever you want. That's a big distraction.
Yeah.
And I still love a good sport.
Right.
But I'm starting to think the
I know,
NFL is
like, is it
completely
rigged?
rigged. I'm starting to think
Yeah,
it's rigged.
I think a lot of
It's
it is.
rigged.
It's rigged.
NFL.
It has
that
to be.
Super Bowl game? Come on.
Yes. That,
for
so,
sure.
Right.
so it's like, do you ever notice as soon as a season is done at 9:59 at 10 p.m., a new sport, like they won't give you a second.
Right.
To the
Yeah.
point I'm like, it's annoying. Like it's so obvious. So I do believe there's this like shiny over here. Why people are
It's
doing
bread and
bad
circuit.
stuff over
Yeah,
here.
they're-
Symbols, beep beep,
Look
pop,
over here.
pop. Is Jamie good? Is he bad? Reverse psychology. Where are we at?
Yeah. But you know what I like what you said is that even though the sports and the Hollywood and this and that, like,
Like an hour 40 to get here. Go ahead.
I'm sorry.
Go ahead. Jesus did not help
Can
me.
we take you to lunch?
Then you get to hang out with us.
That's
Yeah.
true. Let me ask you ladies something, because I don't know how long we go. Here's my question. In your belief system, is sex more than it's ever been everywhere?
Yes.
Yes and no. I think that in music and everything, it's very over sexualized. The content, the words, everything, the rapping and everything, and like the Lizzo and all that stuff. But I think that like younger kids, I just think they're having less sex because they're having less interaction. And I'm noticing a
That's
lot
a
of
good
my
point.
friends who have like 19-year-old, 20-year-olds, they're living at home with their parents. They don't want to date. They just stay close to home, and they don't really have a whole lot of interaction. They're on their devices, and that's how they hang out with other friends through social media apps and whatever else.
Right. It's very disconnected. So the
There's-
physical act of sex, maybe not as much.
No, but
We're all hypersexualized.
I think people.
Do you know what the easiest?
that's what I want to say. Is that's interesting you said that,
That is
since
a
I don't
good
have kids.
point.
But I see sex everywhere. Like it's
Do you know what the
like
easiest and
raunchy,
fastest-
almost to the point where
raunchy
it's
just-
turning me off. I'm of the school of lady in the streets, freak in the sheets.
Yeah.
Keep
Yeah,
this shit
yeah.
private.
Right.
Do you know what I'm saying?
Definitely.
And
That's-
it's not anymore, to the point where it's disgusting.
Kinda
It's
gross.
turning me off.
It is disgusting.
Like Stu and me had this conversation. We were like, we're grossed out. Are we old ladies, or is it changing?
Right.
No, the easiest and fastest way to weaken a man is through sex.
Meaning,
Meaning, like,
well, you can physically
over-sexualized.
weaken them after 2.5 pumps.
And porn is actually
What I mean,
Really bad.
I mean, making them overly saturated in pornography content on social media.
It weakens them with their moral code, or
It weakens their mind and makes them less masculine.
yeah.
interesting,
Corrupts them
interesting.
mind. So if you want to weaken a society, hypersexualize them.
But you guys, I'm just saying, like, I really believe all this stuff. Like, I don't really watch it at all, and I'm turned off
Right.
because I feel like women, and you can't say this because no one has a gender anymore,
Right.
is that what I believe is traditional gender roles right in front of me. Mommy's pretty, feminine, having a good time, still opinionated, still tough,
Yeah.
still
Right.
picky for the volleyball squad. Like, you can get it, but it's like,
Right.
I believe it's like, here's the babies. Your husband's out there chopping down fucking wood.
Yeah.
And that's what you guys are you're trad
Tradition.
wives, which is not a bad thing. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, very traditional.
But you're not even a trad wife because you're both divorced. So you're progressive. So that whole thing is being so challenged now.
Yeah.
Right.
That it's like,
Well,
and
they're
these
trying to destroy the nuclear family.
1,000%. I know a girl was telling me she was
Right.
pan, and I'm like, what does that really mean? Like, you know,
What
the old
does
joke.
pan even
Do you
mean?
fuck a
What is-
pan?
Yeah.
You rub
Just
up
want
against the corner of the
everything to be
stove.
I understand the
acceptable.
pan
But they
thing.
want everything to be acceptable.
Exactly, and
So
that's
that
where
what
it's
they
like,
do
no.
is acceptable. So that's
Well,
pedophilia,
yeah, and it's-
that's trans. That's I mean,
Well, there's nothing
everybody
wrong
has-
with trans,
Well, it's a
but
no.
there is a line where people get very sensitive about it,
Right.
But you're saying something that I don't even like to talk about, the P word.
I don't
And
either,
the
but
P
it's
word
really
is
sad.
really getting pushed as normalcy because there's something called MAPS, which are minor attracted persons, and it's like, hey man, I'm not a bad person. I ain't gonna do nothing, but Billy's really sexy.
Yeah, which
That's
is-
insanity.
that's
And that's where we
insanity.
keep going with this pushing of, and I just did a whole thing about it, where Satan
watch.
respects pronouns. I did a whole
Oh, I
rant.
saw that. She sent
And
it to
I'm
me.
like, what are we talking about here? I believe I know why it's happening.
Right.
Because the loosening of the pushing of everything's acceptable.
Desensitized.
The fact that Target did it, and it's the
Target
sweetest place
did
on
it.
earth, makes me think that Target is low-key Satan's temple.
Oh, for sure.
Because it's all red.
Target is low key
Right?
Symbol.
Well,
Think
it all goes
about
back
it.
To it all goes back to the
I mean,
corporation.
you go in there, you buy 1, 2 things, and all of a sudden you leave it. It's $1,200. You're like, how did that happen? It always happens.
I
at
never
Target,
understand
right?
how that
That's
happens at
Satan.
Target.
Wait, Walmart doesn't do you like that. I'm telling you, right?
I'm talking about the weird
Walmart doesn't-
color and the
No,
symbolism.
Walmart's
You're like,
just gonna
you
charge
go
you to
in,
shop
you get
there
2
now.
sconces.
That's Satan.
And Satan spent my damn money.
Yes,
That is,
we can't
It's true.
because 1 plus
I'm not
3
going there
plus
anymore.
4 doesn't equal 1,200.
It does at Target.
At Target, it does because it doesn't make
Does at
sense.
Target.
But it all goes back to that. It's Satan's temple.
Yeah. I go in for a pair of tweezers and come out with new furniture, new bedding, new curtain rod, plants, candles.
wow. Well, guys, this was fascinating. I can't wait for us all to get together
We're good. We're
for
good.
Christmas.
Okay, well, where can people find you?
Yes.
Where,
I say go to my JamieKennedy.com. You'll find
Okay.
everything. But I'm on YouTube. I'm on Instagram where we talk.
Yes.
You'll-
well, and he'll be in the notes. Everybody. So.
And yeah, I have a Patreon. I have a pod. Hate to break it to you. I did a movie. It's out called Don't Suck with the amazing Matt
is that what
Rife.
the hat is?
Yes, it's Matt Rife who blew up, and
Oh, I know
he's a
that
huge
name.
comedian. He's huge.
I know that name,
And
yeah.
it's on Amazon Prime.
Do you know how my son made me sit down and watch? It was Tim Dillon. It was funny.
Yeah.
But he talked about all the political stuff.
Yeah,
Yeah.
he's amazing.
Yeah, it's great.
So I've got a lot. Just
there
go
it
to my
is.
website. You'll see everything. Go to my Instagram.
Oh.
This is a movie we shot, and it's a good.
Okay.
You'll watch it.
All right.
All
Well,
right?
thank you so much for making this long
Yes.
drive and sitting here with us. This was hilarious. This is fun.
I had
Thank
a
you.
great time.
Thank you so much.
So good.
Thank you
to
for
see
having
you.
me. Appreciate you.
Yeah, we
We
really
appreciate
appreciate it.
you.
Thank you.
Thanks,
So,
Jamie.
okay.